What started as a joke but people take it way too seriously today? Dogecoin. I remember a Twitter post where someone asked the Dogecoin creator whether they thought about the environmental impact when creating this coin. He replied saying he took 2 hours to create the cryptocurrency and did not consider anything. Flat Earth. Okay, so I took an intro to philosophy class in college. This is circa 2001, so flat Earth not a big thing yet. Well, our professor says, the Earth is flat, prove me wrong. So everyone is going through the normal ways to prove it. And seeing as this was the professor's lesson, he had some, relatively speaking, decent arguments. By the end of class 1 was thinking that he might actually believe the Earth is flat. But the lesson he was trying to give us was that all information we have came from someone else. NASA says there are satellites in orbit, but we don't know that. And even the math necessary to prove it's possible was passed to you from another person. Point was, he wanted to make sure everyone always had an awareness of where they were getting information from. Good sources first and foremost, but even good info gets outdated, so make sure it's still accurate. He then went on to list like 5 ways you can test in your backyard that the Earth is round. So turns out he wasn't crazy. But I think about that class a lot. I worry that someone was trying to retell that lesson at Thanksgiving to their family. But they forgot how it was supposed to end. And accidentally got the flat Earth shit moving. Schrödinger's cat was formulated as a thought experiment to illustrate how odd quantum mechanics is, not that the cat is actually both alive and dead. Not just that, Schrödinger came up with it to demonstrate how absurd and ridiculous the idea was. It was just that his peers thought it actually demonstrated their ideas quite well and started using it as a layman's explanation. Schrödinger's cat lived long enough to become the villain. QAnon. The whole sigma, beta, alpha shit. Yep. Bugs the hell out of me every time I try to read a maths paper. No Nut November. Look, it might be a joke, but I have failed 158 times already, so it should be a real challenge next year. School teachers telling us we won't have calculators in our pockets. Some nerds took that as a challenge. The OK symbol being a white supremacist sign. Immediately pissing off scuba divers everywhere. Birds aren't real. MSG is bad and vaccines cause autism. As an autistic person, it's much more likely that autism causes vaccines. Vaccinated people are more likely to be autistic because they live longer to get a diagnosis. Donald Trump running for president. Being an edgelord whose entire personality trait is trolling and bullying other people. Scientology. No, it started as a money-making scheme and devolved into an abusive cult. Truck nuts. They were a joke at first. Now they are a point of pride on emotional support trucks. If you add nuts to your truck and it didn't come out of the factory with them, then your truck is trans. Taco Bell giving anyone diarrhea. Also, the stepping on a Lego is worse than any pain. Like, yeah, it hurts, but it's not that bad unless you've never experienced pain before. Trump as president? TikTok. I have no idea how kids are using it instead of Google to search stuff. Comedy. Those masculinity types, like alpha, omega and sigma male, etc. Some people take this too seriously. People thought that's how wolves operate and just projected it onto humans. Turns out that wolves also don't do that. The schools having litter boxes in bathrooms thing. The very idea that a litter box could be placed in a classroom with dozens of kids who all have cell phones and are social media addicts and there's not a single photo or video of it is laughably absurd. That's always my argument. If there was a single litter box in a single bathroom in a single school in the middle of nowhere, Utah, we'd have photos of it everywhere. It would be the biggest thing on the internet. And yet somehow we don't have a single shred of proof. Only, my friend's kid's friend said, and whatnot. Hating on Nickelback. Tell me you underscore without telling me you underscore. People use this as a real response. You could probably just use less words if you said exactly what they are doing. I feel like an old lady for hating that phrase. Tell me you're an old lady who hates young people's phrases without oh wait. Pineapple on pizza. I like it. If you don't, why shame me? I don't shame you for eating booty. When I was a kid, butt liquor was an insult. Now it's something people look for in a partner. MBTI. I mean, it didn't really start as a joke, I guess. It is a psychological model based on a psychologist. And don't take it wrong, I think it's fun and interesting to see which personality type one am myself, and it isn't a bad model, even though it doesn't fit the modern versions. But I think some people take it way too seriously, which bothers me, because I don't want people to put me in a category and think that is my whole personality. I'm an IMDb. I don't get along with anyone, but I know a lot about movies. Celebrities becoming politicians. The whole Pepe is a symbol of the alt-right, and the OK hand gesture being a sign of white power. One of those was started by 4chan to specifically show how gullible the mainstream media is. That vibrating anal beads chess thing. Okay, back up the what? Question mark. An up-and-coming chess player, Hans Niemann, beat Magnus Carlsen, longtime reigning world chess champion. In their next match, Magnus resigned after a single move and accused Hans of cheating. Naturally, speculation turned to, how would you even cheat in this case? Someone jokingly suggested Hans had vibrating anal beads to signal his moves. As the story circulated, somehow this was clearly a joke suggestion bit got lost. Flat Earth. The most recent trend. Its origins are hilarious LMFAO, like chemtrails. Now the same people also started the all birds are not real thing, and it's catching on just like their last joke. People are so gullible and stupid.